Okay, hello students. So this is second experiment which we will be discussing. The title of the experiment is to calculate the thermal conductivity of the composite slab. So the objective of this experiment will be to determine the thermal conductivity of the composite slab, and you can also calculate the thermal conductivity of each material which is used in the composite slab. And once you get the temperatures, you can also plot the temperature distribution along the thickness of the composite slab. So these are the two objectives which we will be covering in this experiment. So once you understand this experiment, you will be able to calculate thermal conductivity of any composite system. So, and obviously we are going to use electrical analogy. So firstly, let me explain you the experimental setup. Experimental setup consists of three different materials which are used in this composite slab. One is the mild steel, which is the innermost, which you can see here. Then you have wood, which is the second material, and third one is the bakelite. And then you are having two such sets, mild steel, wood and bakelite, on upper side of the heater. So there is a central heater which is used for heating the slabs, and again at the bottom also you have same set of slabs, mild steel, wood and bakelite, and they are held together by means of this pressure plates which you see here. So these are the pressure plates which are placed on at the top and at the bottom, which will actually hold these slabs together. So you can also tighten this using these wheels so that they are in proper contact with each other. So what is done is, initially we are supplying electrical power to the plate heater. So there is a central heater which you can see here in between the two mild steel plates. So this heater, when it gets heated because of the resistance, it will heat up the inner surface of the mild steel. That heat is conducted through the mild steel to the outer surface of the mild steel, then through the wood, and then to the bakelite. So what we do is we measure the temperature at each interface using the thermocouple, right? So there are 8 such thermocouples. So you can see from this 2D diagram. So the inner one is the plate heater, then you have mild steel, wood and bakelite on the top. Again you have mild steel, wood and bakelite at the bottom. So this plate heater, it will firstly heat the mild steel, then wood and bakelite. So what we do is we measure the temperature at each interface, like in between plate and mild steel, then again in between mild steel and wood and bakelite, and at the outer surface of the bakelite on the two sides of this plate heater. Now the total power which is supplied to the plate heater is V into I, and that is measured by using this ammeter and the voltmeter which you see here. So what is done is, you have this dimmer stat. So you can actually give the input by rotating this dimmer stat after the input is given to the dimmer. So you can increase the input to the heater by using this dimmer. So voltage and current will be shown here. So the total power which is supplied to the plate, central plate, right, that will be Q equal to Vi cos phi. So cos phi is 1 here. So power factor is assumed to be 1. So you have total power which is supplied equal to V into I. Now when you have two sets of the plates on the top and at the bottom, half of the heat is conducted at the top and half is conducted at the bottom. So just for assuming that half of the heat flows in the upper direction and half flows in the downward direction. So in order to ensure this, we have the these two sets, right? Then what we do is, as I told you, we measure the temperature at each interface. So you can see here T1 and T2, they are the temperatures at the inner surface of the mild steel. Then T3 and T4, they are the temperatures at the outer surface of the mild steel, which is assumed to be same as inner surface of the wood. temperature at the inner surface of the wood. Similarly, T5 and T6, these are the temperatures at the outer surface of the wood, or it is same as inner surface of the bakelite. Similarly, you have temperature which is measured at the outer surface of the bakelite on two sides, which is T7 and T8. Now, once these temperatures are measured, now we have Q and temperatures, right? And we are also given the dimensions. So, diameter, now this is circular in cross section. So, this is top view, which you can see here. This is the top view and this is the front view. So, diameter of these plates, it is 30 centimeter, which is 0.30 meter. So, you can calculate the cross section area through which the heat flow occurs. Then the thickness of each plate is same. So, thickness of mild steel, wood as well as bakelite on both the sides, it is same, and this is equal to 12 mm. So, each slab is of 12 mm thickness. So, now what we do is we firstly calculate the average temperature of T1 and T2, which is taken as TA. Why that is done? Because we need to analyze only one side where heat flow is Q by T, but even though we have same slabs on both the sides, you cannot say that heat flow will be same on both the sides. So, what we do is we take the average of these temperatures, right? Like suppose T1 and T2, they give us the inner surface temperature of the mild steel. So, the average of that will give you inner surface temperature of mild steel on any side, right? So, that is assumed. Similarly, T3 and T4, if you take the average of these two temperatures, that will give us TB. So, TA is inner surface temperature of the mild steel, TB is the outer surface of the mild steel, which is same as inner surface temperature of the wood. Then TC, which is average of T5 and T6, that will give you outer surface temperature of the wood, which is same as inner surface of the bakelite, and average of T7 and T8, that will give you TD, which is outer surface temperature of the bakelite. Now, once this is done, now we have a simplified system where you have mild steel, wood and bakelite with temperatures TA, TB, TC and TD as the surface temperatures. Now, the remaining thing is quite simple. The calculation part is quite simple. Again, we are using the Fourier's law, which is Q equal to Ka delta T by delta X. So, here, as I told you, half of the heat flows in the upper direction. So, we are going to consider only that, since we are considering one half with average temperatures. So, Q by 2 is the heat flow through the slab. So, when steady state is reached, the heat flow will be uniform through all the slabs or the total composite slab. So, Q by 2, that is the heat flow, that is equal to Ka delta T by total thickness. So, suppose you are calculating it for a composite slab. For a composite slab, the total thickness will be 3L. So, conductivity of the composite slab can be calculated using the expression Q by 2, that is equal to K composite area into delta T will be TA minus TD, that is total temperature difference, divided by total thickness. So, other things are known except conductivity of the composite slab. So, you can calculate conductivity of the composite slab from this expression. Now, suppose I want to calculate conductivity of individual slab. So, what I will do is, let us consider mild steel. So, Q by 2 is same. So, that is equal to conductivity of mild steel into area into delta T. Now, what is delta T across mild steel? It is TA minus TB. TA minus TB. So, that will give you delta T across the mild steel divided by what is the thickness of the mild steel? It is L. So, that will give us, so finally you will get conductivity of the mild steel. Similarly, you can apply same expression for wood. So, Q by 2, that is equal to conductivity of the wood into area into delta T across wood. So, inner surface temperature is TB, outer surface temperature is TC. So, you have that delta T divided by thickness of the wood, which is again L. Similarly, you can also obtain conductivity of bakelite, which is Q by 2